Getting ready to step into your career era? Set yourself apart with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Hone your skills with apps like Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and more, powered with the latest in creative AI. Students save over 55% so you can build a portfolio you're proud of. Launch your future with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Visit adobe.com/students to learn more.
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
I'm Cindy Lauper with fellow Cosentix advocate, Chef Michelle Bernstein.
We'll share our experiences with plaque psoriasis, with psoriatic arthritis, and Dr. Panica will talk about the possible connection.
Cosentix secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur.
Learn more at 1-844-COSENTIX or Cosentix.com/Cindy.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will trade in her office job to become the leader of a pack of dogs. As the owner of her own dog rescue, that is. A second act made possible by the reskilling courses Lisa's taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. And she can finally run with the big dogs. And the small dogs, who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/skills.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Spotify. That's greenlight.com/Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at Polestar.com.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
If you went on a road trip and you didn't stop for a Big Mac or drop a crispy fry between the car seats or use your McDonald's bag as a placemat, then that wasn't a road trip. It was just a really long drive. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's.
Hey, business owners, we know you know the importance of maximizing every dollar. With the Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business American Express card, you can make your expenses work just as hard as you. From afternoon coffee runs to stocking office supplies and even team dinners, you can earn miles on all your business expenses. Plus, you can earn 110,000 bonus miles for a limited time through July 16th. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business Card. If you travel, you know. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply. Offer ends 7/16/25.
Understanding organizational culture fit. How to see if a company's values align with yours abstract.
This comprehensive study examines evidence-based strategies for evaluating organizational culture compatibility during job searches, arguing that proper cultural fit assessment requires a multifaceted approach beyond superficial attributes. The research demonstrates how job seekers can effectively gauge alignment through values congruence, work style preferences, reward systems, growth trajectories, and microculture variations. By employing targeted interview questions, observational techniques, and careful analysis during onboarding, candidates can make more informed decisions about cultural fit.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream house or ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Raise the rudder! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen and keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/JackWelchMBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, how to get 30, how to get 20, 20, 20, how to get 20, 20, how to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Ultimately leading to better engagement and satisfaction. The paper emphasizes that cultural assessment is not determined by any single factor but rather through holistic examination of interconnected dimensions, providing practical frameworks illustrated through diverse industry examples that benefit both employers and prospective employees seeking mutually beneficial partnerships. When you're looking for a new job, one of the most important factors to consider is whether the company's culture is a good fit for you. After all, you'll be spending a significant portion of your waking hours at work each week. You want to feel comfortable and aligned with the values, behaviors, and priorities you see around you. However, determining cultural fit can be challenging, especially during the hiring process before you've had a chance to experience the culture firsthand. Today we will explore research-backed methods for assessing compatibility between your priorities and an organization's culture, as well as practical ways to understand cultural nuances through the interview process and initial employment period. Defining organizational culture before investigating how a company's culture matches up with your own values and working style. It's important to understand what organizational culture actually entails. Researchers define culture as the shared assumptions, beliefs, and behaviors that develop within an organization over time. Shine. 2017. Culture includes visible elements like dress code, communication styles, and decision-making processes, as well as deeper issues around priorities, risk tolerance, and handling of work-life balance. The culture stems from the organization's founders and is reinforced through daily interactions, reward systems, role modeling by leaders, and responses to critical incidents. Hofstede et al. 1990. Overall, culture permeates virtually every aspect of how work gets done. Assessing values alignment. One of the most impactful ways to discern cultural fit is by examining compatibility between your personal values and an employer's core values and mission. Explicitly stated values often appear on company websites or in brochures, offering clues about priorities like innovation, customer service, or work-life balance. However, lived values may differ from espoused ones, so it's important to probe deeper. During interviews, ask questions like, how would you describe the culture here in 1 or 2 sentences? And, what behaviors and attitudes does this organization reward most? De Janis et al. 2013. Listen for language that resonates personally and indications the company truly walks the talk regarding values like integrity, respect, or community impact. Misalignment at the values level often foreshadows long-term dissatisfaction. So pay close attention to signs of congruence or conflict early on. Appraising work styles and process beyond values, truly understanding if a culture matches your preferences requires examining nuances of daily workflow and decision-making. Some thoughtful interview questions could include, how would you describe the work environment and pace here? What opportunities exist for independent work versus collaboration? And, what types of problem-solving approaches tend to be most common or successful? Cameron and Quinn, 2011. You may also directly observe elements like formality of dress or physical workspaces. Are people interacting casually or focusing independently? Does the atmosphere seem busy and fast-paced or relaxed? Understanding preferred work rhythms and styles helps identify compatibility that leads to engagement and enjoyment on the job over the long run. Inspecting priorities and rewards to complement examining stated values and work processes. It's important to gain insight into a company's true priorities by exploring what behaviors and outcomes tend to be rewarded most concretely. Some targeted questions could include, what have been some recent major organizational achievements and why do you think those succeeded? How does performance tend to be evaluated here? What types of goals and metrics are most important? And what career paths have top performers at the company typically followed? Chiang and Birch, 2012. The answers will provide visibility into whether increased responsibilities, promotions, bonuses, and kudos actually align with your strengths and priorities or represent a mismatched incentive system. Cultural fit hinges on mutual reinforcement, not just compatibility on the surface. Checking company stage and growth outlook. Another factor impacting cultural fit stems from where a company currently stands in its life cycle and perceived growth trajectory. Researchers note startup cultures fostering risk-taking and flexibility may attract different personality types than stable, process-driven cultures at mature corporations. Barron and Hannon, 1994. Considering a firm's size, tenure, and market position can provide clues about fit. For example, high-growth startups tolerate ambiguity and fast change better than risk-averse firms. Questions like, where do you see the biggest opportunities for the organization in the next few years? And how would you describe the stage of the business currently? Furnish insights into compatibility with the level of stability, structure, or chaos potentially involved. Merchant, 2020. Stage of growth impacts priorities in meaningful ways, determining cultural fit. Watching for microculture variations while understanding an overall organizational culture. Keep in mind that microcultures within divisions, locations, or teams may vary substantially based on leadership, product focus areas, or other contingencies. For example, even within a large technology firm, departmental cultures between very collaborative engineering versus outcomes-driven sales units could differ immensely. Try to schedule informational interviews with people in diverse roles and departments to identify potential fit nuances. Questions like, how would you characterize the atmosphere within your specific team or office compared to others in the company? Help identify microculture variances impacting long-term satisfaction in a given role. Martin and Seal, 1983. Compatibility assessment requires considering multi-level cultural dynamics. Importance of the onboarding experience. No matter how much cultural vetting occurs before hiring, the most definitive test happens during initial onboarding and employment. Focus on actively observing alignment between the professed culture and daily realities through questions, conversations with colleagues, and impartial analysis of interactions, priorities, and behaviors witnessed. Some areas to monitor include whether professed values like respect or ethics appear upheld in practice. Your initial assignments match communicated expectations. And onboarding optimizes cultural learning. Cable et al. 2013. When cultural realities prove misaligned with prior understanding, do not hesitate to have candid discussions with leadership about concerns regarding fit. The onboarding window provides an opportunity to discern compatibility in a low-risk trial before long-term commitment sets in. Key takeaways for cultural compatibility. Thoroughly vetting organizational culture alignment requires examining multiple interconnected factors beyond surface attributes alone. Key areas include values congruence between personal and company missions, preference matches regarding work style priorities like collaboration versus independence, understanding truly incentivized behaviors and rewarded outcomes, stage of growth, implications on priorities like risk-taking versus stability, potential departmental or team-level microculture variations, cultural realities observed during onboarding and initial employment. No single dimension definitively determines fit on its own. Considering culture holistically through informed questions, impartial observation, and honest self-analysis leads to better compatibility discernment, laying a foundation for long-term employee engagement and company success. Practical application and organizational industry examples. The following real-world scenarios demonstrate practical cultural vetting approaches across diverse industries and company stages. A prospective candidate. Sam interviews at a growing tech startup developing an artificial intelligence platform. To explore cultural fit, Sam asks how the company navigated their most impactful product release to date. The enthusiastic response highlights a fast, collaborative process tolerant of mistakes, important cultural traits at a high-growth startup. Separately, Sam spends time with the AI research team, noting a relaxed atmosphere very different than sales. This microculture variation highlights the importance of departmental vetting. Maria interviews for an analyst role at a decades-old financial services firm. During meetings, Maria observes rigid formality and structured decision-making processes. To supplement, Maria conducts informational interviews in various divisions. She finds insurance underwriting highly risk-averse and traditional compared to entrepreneurial private wealth management. Understanding microculture nuances proves vital given Maria's preferences for calculated risk-taking. Jake considers a mid-level operations job at a global manufacturing conglomerate. In interviews, he focuses diligently on discerning true priorities beyond the general mission statement, emphasis on quality. Later, Jake follows up by carefully examining recent promotion patterns and goals tied to successful leaders. This insight corroborates an outcomes-driven culture emphasizing metrics more than flexible collaboration. Conclusion: assessing organizational cultural fit requires an insightful, multidimensional vetting approach. Candidates enhance compatibility discernment by comprehensively exploring values, work styles, priorities, growth implications, and potential microculture variations. However, the most definitive assessment occurs through impartial observation and honest self-reflection during onboarding experiences. By thoughtfully investigating alignment across these interconnecting dimensions, job seekers optimize their chances of finding an employer where they can maximize engagement and contribution over the long term. With diligent cultural vetting, both companies and candidates benefit through compatible matches primed for mutual success.